Hey everyone, my name's Emily Schmidt, and today I'll be sharing one of my favorite story times about how overcoming a long-distance relationship with my best friend made me realize you can achieve great things with the right amount of hope and patience. This is an important story to me, and I hold it close to my heart because it's a blessing that I've been able to have this relationship throughout my whole life. Over the course of the story, I have a main idea that the good things take time and that distance shouldn't and wouldn't define the strength of our friendship. The story begins as I was a 3-year-old in 2010, frequently going to play at the park down the block from my house. After being an open-minded and energetic toddler, I would play with anyone and everyone. Little did I know that I would meet my best friends of 13 years there. At the young age of 3, we would figure out when and what times to go to the park so we could play with each other day after day. 2 years later, in September 2021, I walked into the kindergarten classroom and I saw the girl from the park sitting at one of the tables. At the age of 5, we became best friends and our parents started getting to know each other much better from school drop-offs, pickups, hangouts, dinners, and eventually sleepovers. It didn't take us long to start doing absolutely everything together. This became a huge part of who I am through my memories and experiences that we shared together. Everything from baking, to dressing up and going out for Halloween, to trying new sports together, going on walks and spending time in outdoor environments, spending a countless amount of hours at the beach, making an absolute fool of ourselves, laughing so hard over things only a kid would find funny, and our personal favorite, and probably most important, going to new and different ice cream shops, trying to get through the ice cream one brain freeze at a time. Unfortunately, in October 2020, with only 2 weeks' notice, they packed up their whole Canadian lives and moved across the world to Uruguay and South America. Even though we grew up to become so similar, both of our parents had different types of parenting strategies, one being exposed to social media and one not. This caused us to lose the communication we've had for long periods of time, and we eventually began to grow apart. It was really difficult to communicate with someone across the world when writing letters took a month each way with express shipping, and especially when we were both getting used to new schools with new surroundings, it was hard to get by without the support of each other. Eventually, our communication got to a point where it was almost non-existent, and our lifelong friendship was on hold. Even though things were moving really slowly between us, our parents both gave us the support to keep moving forward. We kept patient and we kept trying to communicate even after lots of tears. Now, this worked for a little bit, but things started slowing down after about a month because we were both getting caught up in busy schedules of new activities. Even at a young age, I was facing the reality that I was separated from my best friend. One day, a couple months later, I got messaged by a random 588 number, and then minutes later, a FaceTime call came in. Big surprise, it was them. Finally got on a device, so now we could still talk the 11,441 kilometers away. And for hours at a time, we did. This was more than enough to keep all of our life updates together and to stay in touch. I'm proud to say that we have the type of friendship where if you didn't hear from one another for an hour or for a month, you'd still be just as close. In June 2022, she celebrated her 15th birthday, and my parents got an invitation to her quince. Laughing, but we were still appreciative at the fact that we were invited. 5 months later, it was November 2022, just a few weeks before her party would start. My parents, along with the parents of one of my friends, made the situation work for us, and in the blink of an eye, but what had felt like forever, we were headed to South America to reunite with our second family. After hours of plane riding and 6 countries later, we had finally landed in the beautiful city of Montevideo. When we saw each other again for the first time in 3 years, it felt like no time had passed at all, and our friendship had resumed from exactly where it left off. 20 days, we would spend every minute of every day together. We created so many new memories and experiences to talk about until the next time we saw each other. One of the first things we did was watch the sunset from her roof and go walking around in the city. Then we screamed, watched some street dancers compete, witnessed almost every street in the city get closed down for parades after Argentina won the World Cup, and finally we celebrated her quince and I watched my best friend leave her childhood and become a grown woman. I was so proud of both me and her for making it this far in our lives, and it gave me the hope and joy of visualizing what our futures would look like together. Then we watched more sunsets and went on more walks, screamed some more, got matching friendship bracelets, went to see Swan Lake performed live by an incredibly talented cast, screamed again, left our signatures on a wall, went to a painful amount of museums and napped outside for most of them, took more pictures of and in the sun, screamed again, and again, and again, went swimming and did yoga poses. And then we decorated for Christmas and had a big family dinner of both our families joined together. We ran around multiple plazas. We played soccer in the sunset with all her cousins. Tried and successfully solved a puzzle even though we couldn't speak the same language. Lots and lots and lots of hugs. Our one last car ride home together for an unknown period of time. More screaming. And then finally, lots of unashamed crying and tears. Just like how every trip has their ups and downs, the worst part of it is waking up on the day of the flight home. When it came time to leave, everyone was in absolute hysterics and the flight home was painfully long. 20 hours and lots of thinking and reflecting later, I was finally home. During the flight, I was thinking about how lucky I was to be able to have this experience. I had such a great time hanging out with them, their friends, and their family. Even though we couldn't speak the same language as some of their family, we still found ways to communicate and have fun. I really value the laughter that was a universal understanding for all of us to come together. Again, on the plane, I came to the realization that my best friend and I are good at keeping a long-distance relationship happy and healthy. We both put in the effort and made things work. We were convinced we would see each other again and put that message out to the universe to be worked with by God. To wrap up the story, I just want to say I learned that good things don't come easily, especially when you're involving other people. You have to equally put in amounts of effort, hope, patience, and encouragement. And with those 4 qualities, you can really go a long way.